Here we go.
Wake up with the Sleeper Boys podcast, hosted by me and my brothers Bill and Dean. In this week episode, we get into the weekend's happenings. How annoyed are we getting lost on an island? Dean's conspiracy theory of the week, and a little mix up to Bill's Balls games. Speaking of, Bill, how are your games? And more importantly, how was your weekend?
You're gonna say how you're balls.
I know you thought I was gonna say.
Let's hope.
The games are all right. Weekend was great. Another kind of chill weekend. Mom came up, went out to dinner, had some lunch, kind of chilled out, did some exploring a little bit around the new city. Hopefully I'll be getting some merch so I can debut the logo for my new town. It was great. One person who did not have a great day was a passenger who had been fined for urinating in a cup during a delay in deplaning after landing at a Sydney airport. It was after a 3-hour flight, and they fined this 53-year-old man 600 Australian dollars, which is $395, for offensive behavior. It only became a public attention when a passenger in the same row said she had reported the behavior to the air crew. She said her and her 15-year-old daughter were sitting in the aisle and middle seats when the man in the window seat was urinating in a cup. Holly said the plane had been on the tarmac for about 20 minutes. She said the man was obviously quite drunk and spilled urine on a flight attendant as he left the plane. So, but the mishap with the attendant wasn't his crime. The federal police said that the officers removed him from the plane because he had urinated into a cup while in his seat. So, if you're ever wondering, if you go to Australia, you can pee on a flight attendant, but you can't pee in your seat.
Oh,
but if you do, $385. Seems like a good time. Good cheap time.
Seems like a good deal.
Yeah. $385. Anyone with a weird urine fetish is now going to be like, I'm going to Australia.
Going
on the
down
flight.
So, yep, that was my weekend.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, my weekend was pretty good. Like Bill said, Mom came up and we went out to dinner or whatever. And on Sunday I went golfing with my buddy Taylor. And so we got through the front 9 pretty quickly, like maybe like an hour and a half. It was a pretty quick round because we didn't really have anybody in front of us. And we get to the 10th tee box, and there's like a foursome in front of us, and it's like a group of old people, right? And so we're like, oh, we'll wait. We'll go in the clubhouse. I'll get some more beer, come back out, see what happens. They were still in the middle, and we were at Emerald Hills in Marshall. So it's not like a big hole 10. It's like a 300-yard hole 10 or whatever. And so we're just sitting there like, okay. And then I'm like, all right, man, I think they're far enough out. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit one. So give him a little sweet chin music, as he kept saying we gave him sweet chin music all day. We were telling the guys behind us. So I hit one. It's like maybe 15 yards behind him. I'm like, let's see, that's not bad. And then so Taylor goes up and he just freaking he pipes this ball. And so we're like, he's like, dude, that was close. That was close. And I was like, I think you're all right. Will you pull up there? The ball was in front of where they were. He hit it past them. And so we're literally like 20 yards off the green, staring at them they were still on the green. Like it felt like every time they finished a hole. You know how like at the end of like a golf tournament, they'll take their hat off and shake each other's hand? Every single hole. I swear to you, they just stood there and were just like talking and like they were playing best ball. And so by hole, yeah. So by hole 15, I think all of them were playing the same best ball. So by hole 15, we had like
Wow.
4 groups behind us. 2 single guys, a 3 and a 4. We're all just sitting there waiting, and the 2 single guys ended up just joining together. And so, and then we're at hole 18, and I just I crushed one way. We're pretty sure they stole my ball because they were still like pretty close, but I was getting pretty fed up at that point. I'm like, I'm just gonna hit. I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. And then they gave me the dirtiest look when we went to go put our clubs away. But that,
whatever.
And then on 18, they, you know, I don't want to get too much into it, but but they like sat in their cart in front of the green for like 10 minutes, like just like the dude's like cleaning his clubs. I'm like, what the are you doing, man?
On 18?
On 18, yeah. I'm like, so what turned into what probably could have been like a 3-hour round, maybe 3.5, turned into 4.5, almost 5 hours because of them, just on 9 holes. It was insane. It was so infuriating, but I was playing pretty well. So
So you can't skip the hole.
Yeah, you can't skip the hole. I thought about like, dude, let's just roll past them. Like the fact that they didn't let us pass after hole 10 because of how far. I mean, I birdied that hole and he parred it, and we were just waiting for them on the tee box. Like it's like they waited for us to hit our putts in, and then they teed off, and then they drove up the hole. I was just sitting there like, come on, just let us go. Just let us go. But yeah. So, you know, and I had been drinking a little bit. But have you ever been so drunk that you'd be willing to threaten people and eat with your hands outside of the restaurant? No, not at all. I think Eddie's been there a couple of times.
You mean just like this way? I hate you.
Like just shoving food. So this guy, this was about 3 or 4 years ago now, but this guy in Florida got arrested for eating pasta outside of the restaurant super aggressively with his hands. So he's just sitting outside the restaurant, just shoveling food into his mouth. And I guess I don't know if it was like loitering or something, but they called the cops on him. And so he threatened to beat up the employee that called the cops on him. He was hammered, obviously.
Classic.
He was absolutely hammered outside of an Olive Garden in Florida. He's just sitting
supposed to be unlimited fettuccine.
Where's my soup? But I guess, yeah. And so he bizarrely had asked the employee if he had a male or female sex organs, and he started muttering obscenities and begging for change outside of this Olive Garden. All in between handfuls of pasta he was just shoving into his mouth. Ended up going to jail.
That's amazing.
I'm assuming for, just drunk tank or whatever. But yeah, I saw that story and I was like, dear Lord, like he was released on $2,000 bond.
I've definitely eaten stuff with my bare hands that I shouldn't have when I've been drunk.
Of course.
Not in an aggressive manner in front of people at home. Yeah. I've definitely done it at home more than once.
Yeah, of course.
I've definitely wanted to throw hands way more than once when I've been drinking. To the point where I tried to start stuff with people just to try and make it happen.
Just to see what happens. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a good thing. I just
that's
I'm not exactly proud. I've just been there plenty of times. Yeah.
Quit bragging.
Hey, you're a real piece of shit.
You're a real piece of
Wow,
shit. How was your weekend?
Yeah.
Bill, you ever done that? You ever try to throw down
I try not to.
because you were inebriated?
I mean, I feel like everyone's been there once, right? Just yeah, I mean, only maybe a couple times, but I've eaten very aggressively plenty of times. Fettuccine, of course.
Yeah, unlimited. You told
Grilled
me.
You told
Have
me.
you ever one-throated a grilled cheese?
Did I put
Was
some
aggressive.
leftover mac
you
and
will.
cheese and made it into like a grilled cheese with like a slice of cheese in there? And that was pretty legit. I definitely did that when I was drunk once. I'm like, I think I would like this sober too. I don't know why I saved the mac and cheese. I think it was like legit, like I made mac and cheese.
Like Kraft.
You know,
or
not
something.
like Kraft. Like I
Oh, you
made.
mean like actual like baked mac and cheese?
Yeah. Like I baked it and all that.
While you were drunk? You baked
No,
mac and
no,
cheese?
the
Oh.
leftovers.
I was
I
like,
made-
man, like I don't have the patience for that. If I'm drunk, I'm just trying to make
and it's
anything
just
as
like-
fast
You're
as
just
possible.
rubbing dry noodles on yourself.
I made my own cheese.
Dumping the cheese packet in my mouth.
No patience.
Just zero patience. Yeah, I could do all that if I was drunk.
And he literally just cooked the noodles and he just put them in his mouth. He was just pouring cheese in his mouth.
No, there was a minute there where I was making I would make like a thing of mac and cheese for like the week type of thing. It wouldn't last. It it was like not like a crock pot full or anything. It was like
Right.
like an 8x8 pan. So it'd
Okay.
give me like part of 2 or 3 dinners, right? And I came home drunk one night and I just was like, oh, I bet if I put that inside like, some bread and an extra slice
Yeah.
of cheese and make it into a grilled cheese. And I had tomato on hand. And I was like, that was awesome to me. Like, that sounds good to me right now.
This isn't a cooking episode, but I made
I know,
double
man.
a double egg grilled cheese like breakfast sandwich
Ooh, now
with
you're
like
talking.
sausage and bacon on it. It's so freaking good. I wasn't even drunk. I
A
just
nice
did that
3-inch
sober.
sausage always goes in nice.
A couple of Jimmy Deans.
That's a lot of sausage.
Frozen.
That's a lot of
That's a
way too
lot of
much.
sausage.
It's a
That's
ton
the
of
most
sausage.
sausage I've
I'm
ever
more of a
seen.
patty guy. I don't. In general, I don't really like the sausage patties.
Me either, actually. I'm more of a link
Yeah,
guy myself.
I like either
Bill?
one.
Either
I
one.
like-
Yeah, I just the links.
I like to
are-
roll. I like to roll my link in the patty.
Sure.
Sometimes I
I
slap
would do
my eggs
that.
with the link.
Hey, I'm not gonna not eat a sausage patty,
Right. 100%.
but I'm certainly not gonna prefer it.
I know I have some Jimmy Dean sausage patties that are pretty phenomenal. But
Phenomenal.
as far as frozen sausage patties go,
Why don't you bring those over to Bill's on Friday? Anyway, my
got 4 left.
my weekend was good. Saw a couple soccer games, had an Easter brunch at the kids' grandparents' house. That was a good time. But I was at the store on Saturday. I had to get my kid some new goalie gloves. While I'm there, I'm looking at the gloves. I hear just out from the side. So what sport you buying for now? I didn't turn around because I didn't assume it was me that the person was talking to, and then it was repeated except louder. And so you got to look.
Yeah.
Then I realized they're talking to me, and it's a guy I've seen around town before. I've spoken maybe a dozen words total.
He's listening to this podcast. Like, oh,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if he does, I mean, well, what's up, Jerry? I know.
So, Jerry?
What's up, Jerry? This isn't offensive towards you. I just one of those things. It was, and the literal next thing I have on here is it was fine. It was like a 5-10 minute convo, and I was out of there. It caught me by surprise, and stuff like that happens to me all the time. And it's crazy because I probably shouldn't say this in case people like Jerry watch or whoever, but I hate being spotted out in public. Like I just want to go to the store, grab what I got to grab, leave unnoticed. Like, obviously you guys know I live in a very small town. And this isn't where I saw the guy. This isn't where I know the guy. I know the guy from Marshall. I was in Battle Creek. So it's like, that's why it could be anybody. But in the town I live in, the county or the township I live in has 700 people total. Right. I mean, the village less than that. So we have a Dollar General, as every small place does. And I was pumped at a certain time because they put a self-checkout line in. So I can just run in, grab what I needed to do, get out, don't have to talk to anybody, avoid people, whatever. But they recently shut that down because apparently people were stealing. I don't know. Not me. Not me. I totally was not stealing. It's just random thing that annoys me. So I was at this Dollar General, I don't know, 6 months ago ish. The manager there at the time, she's not the manager there now because they rotate employees quite frequent. The manager there now or then was like, I was just going through getting some stuff. I was with one of my kids and I just said, oh yeah, I was grabbing this or whatever. And she goes, oh, it's okay. You're here all the time. Kind of thing. And I was trying not to, I was trying to be like, avoid that kind of thing. But she was like, you're here all the time, but almost looks like annoyed because it was also a busy day there at the store. She goes, well, you're here all the time or whatever. And I was like, damn, dude. Like I'm really trying to get around here. I'm like trying to roll out, not try to bother you guys too much. And she was like, oh, it's fine. Cause I said that. I was like, I'm just trying to like get stuff, not bother you guys. She was like, oh, it's fine. Cause you're here all the time. And I'm like, I'm like, damn, they're really noticing me around here. I don't want to be talked to every time I'm in here.
Right.
I just don't. I swear I didn't go back to that store for at least a month.
That's a sleeper move right there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Because I'm like, dude, there's like, you've noticed me.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm noticeable around this town. Okay. I mean, for obvious reasons. But I also like I'm just trying, like I said, the self-checkout, I just grab my stuff. I get it. I go to the self-checkout and I'm just out of there. Maybe they say, have a great day as I'm leaving, or have a good day. And I'm like, use what kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's the most. Like, I do not want to be seen. Just want to get my stuff and go. But I didn't go back for at least a month. So like, that's just a weird, I don't know if it's a weird thing because I think you guys feel similar.
Well, I definitely do.
But like, is there anything in general that just kind of annoys you out in the world? Like, even if it's a pet peeve or something, like, I don't know.
I got the time. I've got a list of things that bother
me. Bill's dialed up.
That is my main one, really, is not going to places. If there's like right now, there's a place I'm not going to because I know the person there. And it's not because they're a bad person. It's not because it's, they're mean or loud or rude, whatever. It's just, I just don't want to have that 5 to 10 minute conversation with them, which I know what will happen. So
That's a great point. If I know somebody that works at the place, I'm almost certainly not going to go.
Right. I mean, if it was like, we'll say Quillet, right? I mean,
Different.
people who know me, Quill's one of my best friends, and if obviously if he's working, I'll go in every time.
Right.
But if it's just someone like we went to school with, or someone that I used to work with, or whatever the case, like I know you're there. No offense, but I know you're going to talk to me, and it's it's the whole reunion thing. Oh, how's it going? How you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? What are you up to? Oh, that rain is looking really hard out there. You know what I mean? It's just like, I deal with that enough at work. I don't need it in my personal life either.
Yeah.
So, but to your point, we come from a small town. Most of probably who watches this knows that. And I've been places where you would not expect someone from Marshall or wherever to be from. And Kate will go, everybody. Well, it's not a matter of knowing everybody. It's a matter of you've been around those people for the better portion of 2 decades, So you run into those people in a town like that. Like for her, she graduated with 1,100 people.
Correct.
I graduated 179
right
in a town of 7,000. You know what I mean? So like to her, it's the craziest thing, but to me, it's like, well, I've known these people my whole life, So, but I'm better now. I didn't used to be. I used to be terrible. If I saw someone at the end of the, like, we'll say the grocery store, if they're at the end of the aisleway and they didn't see me yet, I'm
the ultimate avoider. Yes.
Yes.
I agree with
I'm
that.
a little bit better now, but probably 8 years ago, I would have been like, all right, I might even leave the store.
I've never been like that. I definitely am the same way in that sense. Like what Bill just said, if I see you in the store and it's like somebody I just, like we were cool in high school or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like I worked with you at one point and we haven't talked since and it's been years. It's like, if I see you, I'm going to do my best to not run into you or be in the same aisle as you.
And
I'm
no
going
offense.
to avoid you. Yeah. And it's no offense to you. It's it's my anxiety, to be honest. For me, it's just purely, even though there's really nothing to have anxiety over because it's, it's somebody I know and probably liked at one point. But other things that would bother me would be like, I mean, Bill could probably attest to it too, is just like bad drivers, I mean, I guess we could all attest to that. I don't think that's just a me thing, but other than that, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton more, but on the spot, I can't really think of anything else.
Construction everywhere.
Yeah.
Construction everywhere. People who don't wash their hands after they go to the bathroom.
Yeah, come on.
One or two.
Like, what are you? Doesn't matter.
Just a little pee, man. It's sterile. It's sterile.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
Really I mean, I don't know. I would say I feel bad because of like I'm not upset with the people that come up and talk to me or it doesn't make me mad or upset. It's just one of those things where I'm like, if I can just go somewhere, grab my stuff and get out of there, that is what I prefer. I think that's what most people prefer.
Yeah.
You're just so sad. Like every time you're like, oh.
And like what
so
Bill had
rare
said with Kate is I dated a girl where she went to the academy. There's a lot less kids there. You know what I mean? So like we'd go through town and having you guys as my older brothers, I'd have random people I didn't even know would come up to me and be like, "Oh, little sleeper, what's going on, man?" I'm like, "Hey, how's Bill and Eddie doing?" Like, "Oh, good, man. I don't know. I don't know who you are, you know."
You.
It got to a point where, like, because even in Battle Creek, you know what I mean? Like, you run into people everywhere,
Yeah.
especially in our, from our little town and stuff. And she'd just be like, and she'd get mad at me. And she'd be like, "I can't take you anywhere." So if somebody always freaking yells your name out from across the store, I'm just like, what do you want me to do about that? Like, I can't do anything about that.
I literally tried to go the other way.
Yeah, I tried to avoid them.
Someone needed bananas.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. So I get that.
No doubt, man. I mean, it's crazy out there. Things that annoy us. I can tell you what's not annoying. In fact, the exact opposite. And that's the wonderful flavors of the one and only Adobo Boy.
Licking my lips.
Yes. Adobo Boy.
Yes.
The official sponsor of Wake Up with the Sleeper Boys podcast. We are Filipinos, as you know, 10 episodes in now. And we love ourselves some Filipino food. Adobo Boy delivers just that, with that amazing, delicious food and those amazing vibes that are unmatched. And I say unmatched, and I don't say that as lip service. I truly mean that. These people are so nice to you. And the food's piping hot. They put it on a plate for you. They ask how you're doing. Never once do I see them without a smile on their face. I shouldn't say that. That's over delivering. But even when they don't have a smile on their face, they're still happy. You can just tell. Okay. I mean, Dean and I went a couple weekends ago. Awesome time. Felt right at home. Ace and Jackie. Just nice people. Nice people. Not only do they have the delicious food, but they also go against the grain of a traditional restaurant and tinker with their menu to bring you an amazing variety of Filipino cuisine. Their menu rotates weekly, so there's always a reason to come back to try more authentic Filipino food. But one dish puts itself above all the others. Some would call it the final boss. The final boss. Red's Pork Adobo Bowl. Iconic Filipino dish. Iconic Adobo Boy dish. Dean, tell us about that pork that's braised in soy sauce.
And vinegar.
Vinegar.
It's tender pork braised in soy sauce and vinegar on a bed of rice. On a bed of rice with Jackie's achara or papaya salad, with cucumbers and a fried egg on top. It's sweet and salty. It's fantastic. I would recommend buying two to mix one up or eat it separately as Ace recommends. And I'd do it as soon as possible. It's worth it.
Fork, spoon, or hand?
Any of the above. All of the above.
Oh, I like that.
It's a Filipino place. If you eat with your hands, I don't think anybody's gonna really question you.
They'll be on board.
Yeah, they'll be on board for it.
So if you're into trying new and different foods, or would just like some amazing adobo and vibes, stop into Adobo Boy, where owners Ace, Jackie, and son Red are amazing people who genuinely care about your experience there. Eddie, you created it. You let the people know. What are those? Oh, hey, that got me thinking about Adobo Boy.
Whoa.
Those 3 pillars that Adobo Boy brings to you.
The 3 pillars, baby. They're easy enough because when you go, you automatically notice, one, the great atmosphere. I mean, you can't go there and not. I mean, Bill was just talking about it. They're always happy. They've never once been sad. They are the ultimate happy folks. Never without a smile. But no, truly great vibes, great atmosphere. Of course, you're going to get amazing food.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there. I legitimately haven't heard anybody that has had a negative thing to say about the place. and how great the food is. I've only heard extremely positive reviews about it. So you get 5% off also just by saying BD Sports Talk Podcast on the aforementioned amazing food. Again, 5% off your total bill just by saying BD Sports Talk Podcast. That's a deal you don't find out there in the world every day. And that's a deal you can get every day at the one and only Adobo Boy.
All you gotta say is BD Sports. That's insane. That
It's
you
insane.
get a 5% discount just for saying that. That's crazy.
That's so
right?
crazy.
I mean, that's pretty much a free discount.
A free.
It's a free.
It's a free.
I just want to point out, I just looked up Adobo Boy on Google. 61 reviews. All 5-star.
No surprise.
Perfect. No surprise.
No surprise.
No surprise whatsoever.
If you've had it, you'd know.
Oh, for sure. And
And when we were there was a guy that had ordered that was there for the first time, and he was like, everything was fantastic. I almost got their cassava cake is what they had for dessert that week, and they were like, well, we might not have it next week, and he bought it immediately. He was like, oh, I gotta try it because just everything was so good.
Yeah,
that's a true story. That's not even
that's
me
what's
just
up.
trying to push it. That's a real story right there.
Yeah. And I brought up that it's a different menu pretty much every week. If you want to look before you go, adoboboygr.com is the website for you to see what they've got going on for the next week. Adobo Boy is open Tuesday to Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, and 7:30 for dinner. On Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, and 5 to 8:30 for dinner. But I would suggest getting there early because food does sell out, especially on the weekends, because it is honestly that good. Adobo Boy is located at 3740 28th Street, Southeast Kentwood, Michigan, inside the amazing Myanmar restaurant, which there is a sign that says Adobo Boy on the front, so you know right where to go in. And the grand opening, you guys won't be able to be there because it's Saturday and you'll be seeing this on Monday, but they'll be happy to take you whenever you come in. So get over there, get fed, get happy. And by the way, be that fourth pillar. You, the customer. 5% off. It's always better at Adobo Boy.
Excellent Filipino people in business.
Jacked up.
I recently read a story about an island between the Philippines and Hawaii called Picalat Atoll. Technically part of Micronesia. There were these three guys, not unlike us, who went fishing out in the Pacific. They got caught up in some swells. Their motor died and ended up on this tiny island, the Picalat Atoll, which is surrounded by 2.5 million million square kilometers of ocean. I can show you guys the name on how to spell it so you can look it up. It's just really like a big oval. I mean, from what I could tell, it's like maybe twice the size of like MIS or something. Like it's not big. It's just this little island out in the middle of the Pacific. They were stranded on this island for a week, basically just eating coconut meat. And they found fresh water in some dug up well in the middle of the island. But they spelled out, help on the beach using large palm fronds or, palm leaves or whatever. And a U.S. jet flying out from Okinawa spotted the palm leaves. So after that, another jet dropped them like packs of food and stuff until a rescue crew got out there. The Coast Guard arrives, and the three fishermen were surprised to hear that the U.S. Coast Guard guy spoke their Micronesian language. And as it turns out, they end up being like third cousins to this guy. Just randomly, like third cousins. Crazy story. So I guess the whole thing was like, Can you imagine if the three of us got stranded out on an island?
Ugh.
What would that be like?
For a week? A week
For a
wouldn't be
week.
bad.
The
Lucky for
first
you
4 or
guys.
5 days, you don't even know if somebody's coming.
Well, I watch a lot of Naked and Afraid, so you're in luck.
Sounds like I'm going to be very afraid.
I immediately just take off all my clothes. Like, all right, guys,
I've seen this on TV, guys.
we can
No.
survive.
Now everybody huddle together quickly. Dude,
Get
it's 2
naked and
p.m.
huddle.
It's not cold outside. Get in my warm.
Dude, I'm sweating. You're like, no, trust me.
No, you're gonna want to be sweating.
You want to arch your back while we huddle?
You're gonna feel light pressure.
Oh man, I don't want to be on an island with that guy.
What happens on the island stays on the island.
So we're just eating coconut meat. Let's say nobody comes in a week, right?
Mm.
Who's getting eaten?
You still have coconuts.
It's
The
only been a
coconuts.
week. You can
It's only
survive much
it's just
longer.
it's just one big oval. I'm telling you. You got to look up the picture of this island. It's not big, dude.
Right, I'm sure it's just a little, but there was fresh water on there. You have at
Yes,
least
so that was the
30
lucky
days.
part.
You have at
That
least
was the
30
lucky
days
part.
without eating. So I'm probably gonna wait, but starving wise, it's just whoever's dead first. Whoever dies of starvation first.
Would
But
you
can we
do
even
it?
get a fire? No, probably not. That
Would you
would be-
start eating bugs like
Yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa or something?
I mean, Vietnamese people do it, so why not?
After the 82nd time, Dean goes, Hakuna Matata. I'm eating it.
No, yeah. After he says it for the 85th time, I'll be like, but we got to murder him, right?
You gotta-
We got to murder him, don't we?
If we do,
I made a
Hakuna
shank
Matata.
last night out of big leaves and a stick.
like coconut shell.
You would think though that those guys would have gone try to fish. They're out in the middle of an ocean.
How are they going to get the dude? They're in a boat that shored up on that little island. The motor doesn't work. Do you want to get pulled back out? Like if you're not catching fish around the edges of the island, then
Right.
the only choice is to
right?
take
Go
the
out.
boat out that doesn't have a working motor. I guess if you're there longer than a week, right, you try and make like oars
Something.
and see if you can make that happen. Dude, you're talking about the ocean out in the Pacific, like not far away from like
Right.
the deepest parts of the world. And there's probably not a ton of fish right around shallow portions.
Right.
Right.
I'm guessing.
That's not like a shark or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going back out into the water if I got all this coconut meat.
And the meat I've been carrying
Luckily,
around.
Once
they
we run
have-
out of coconut meat, us three, it's probably we're out of coconut meat in 5 days. We've eaten all the coconut meat on the island.
I had 10 coconuts yesterday.
We gotta preserve the nuts, dude.
I'm starving.
Just out of pure bourboredom.
They
Just-
show
yeah,
up.
it's
10. The Coast Guard shows up 10 days in, and we've gained weight.
There were so many coconuts.
We've eaten so much coconut meat.
So much coconut.
Look how much coconut have you guys eaten?
It's like
All
a
of it.
mounds without the chocolate.
We were bored.
You know how many coconut bras we made out of these?
And I fit perfectly in them. Look at this tan line.
It's a push-up coconut bra.
Yeah, it's a push-up coconut, bro.
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
I could probably go for being stranded on a week and probably not have to eat.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily, you don't have to.
I guess
Talk
yeah,
about
you don't have to.
Talk
I
about
I
the
don't know if
greatest
I'd like the
weight
look in your eyes though after a week.
We got all these coconuts.
loss. Yeah, after you two eat all the coconut.
Yeah, we've been eating all the coconut meat. Hungry eyes. He'd have a very vicious look. I would envision having not eaten and watch us just lounging on the beach with our coconut meat.
Dean has a kebab of bugs. He's just like,
Like, sure you don't want any of this, Bill?
Bill's got his own blood smeared under his eyes. I kill him. I kill him.
he keeps saying, Hakuna Matata.
One more time.
I don't know. Thought that was interesting to think about. Oh man. I mean, dude, if you look at that pic, it is tiny. It's almost like it doesn't exist. Or does it? Dean delves into the unknown as we get into this week's round of Dean's Conspiracy Theory of the Week.
So I am bringing back somewhat of an oldie that I'd talked about in like a weekend update, maybe like 8 months ago. So I assume that it's probably good to talk about here. So I'm bringing up the Mandela Effect and the conspiracy on if the government is just really using that as a way to change stuff without us really knowing. So, for example, and like I said, I've brought this up before, but it's a good example because it's the one that's been somewhat proven. Where where the big argument is with Fruit of the Loom and how on their logo, it's just fruit, but a lot of people claim that there used to be a cornucopia that was attached to the fruit when we were younger, like maybe like 90s or the early days of Fruit of the Loom for us anyway.
For sure.
But turns out that there's never been a cornucopia on their logo, to a point to where Fruit of the Loom has come out and showed all their previous years of their logo, and it's never had a cornucopia. And the owner was like, there's never been a cornucopia, it doesn't make any sense why people wouldn't like just think a plate instead, because plates are more attached with food, and like it doesn't make sense for it to have a cornucopia attached to it. So it got to a point where this girl was just absolutely obsessed about there being a cornucopia attached to that logo for the Fruit of the Loom. And so she went through a lot of like her old clothes from like when she was a kid, had to look for a while, but she ended up finding a tag from Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia on the logo. And I mean, but Fruit of the Loom always keeps claiming, unless it's like an off-brand type of thing. So like the theory is that people think the government is actually using the Mandela effect as a way to, I guess, in a sense, time travel back and change little things in history to see if we notice as a group, as everybody like can consistently agree upon. And so like, because then eventually things will start getting bigger and bigger. So like Fruit of the Loom was one of them. And then you think of like the biggest one, the number one that most people think about is actually how the Mandela effect started. And that was with Nelson Mandela, and people thinking, because when he was in prison, a lot of people thought he died in prison in the 80s. Thousands of people thought he died in prison. He actually died in 2016 or 2013, something like that. So when they had that big thing for his passing, there's a lot of people that were like, wait, I thought he had already passed away, so that's one thing. I mean, I think that's more of just misinformation more than anything else. But do you guys remember like Jif peanut butter? Do you remember it when we were kids, it being Jiffy?
Maybe.
I
It
remember. I
seems
feel like
like
I
it could have
remember
been.
peanut butter used to be Jiffy. That's what I feel like I remember. Maybe I'm mixing it up with like the muffins, the muffin stuff.
The muffin mix.
The Muffin Man.
The muffin man.
The Muffin Man. I feel like I remember it being Jiffy when I was a kid. Like I feel like I remember seeing it on the jar, everything, but it's never been Jiffy. It's always just been Jif, apparently. Or even like the Berenstein Bears when we were kids, those little children's books. Apparently, it was never Berenstein. It's always been Berenstain. There's an A. It's not an E. It's just
Allegedly.
Berenstain. Allegedly.
Mm.
And there's a lot of different ones like this that go back where, like, obviously there's some where you're like, well, I mean, but then is that the Mandela effect? Because other people, thousands of people are seeing it differently than how you did. So is it the government changing things from the past? Are they actually going back and changing these little things just to see if we all notice or if we care enough to even argue about it? Or is it just something where we're all just misinformed on what we actually saw? Or maybe even like different dimension travel?
Well,
Hmm.
I've heard that to where people are like, you don't, you know how you don't really know when you die, for instance, like people have said, I've seen theories where, you know, the world blew up or whatever, whatever the case may be, where it was like a mass extinction, and we just don't know it, and but we have memories of it from a previous life. I've seen theories of that. um the Berenstein Bears one always gets me. I think we brought it up before, the Shazam,
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
Shaq and Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad never was actually played a genie in a movie,
Yeah, yeah.
which is why because I think we all agreed that I feel like I remember him playing playing a movie. I thought what was it, Kazam? Was
That was
that's what I
Shaq.
was that his movie? I thought his was Shazam. Or that was no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But still, either way, Sinbad never played that role. Maybe he was in a commercial that we all saw when we were kids. But
A lot of people.
right, no, I mean, we're not the only ones, right? And that's the crazy part about the Mandela effect is just you're not the only one that has seen it that way, but you're also, on the other end, they're not the only ones that have seen it that way too. So it's like,
Right.
it's I don't know, it's pretty crazy. But that is the conspiracy of the week. Oh.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and the shooters. Dang. I don't know what to think about that, because like I always felt like the Fruit of the Loom had the cornucopia.
Yep.
Like a lot
That
of
was a
people
big
thought
one for
that
me.
too. Yeah.
And it was proven.
I knew Mandela wasn't dead.
That one
But I could see why that's why he's the name of the theory.
Right.
But I don't know, man.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Very crazy.
There's always a twist. Just like this week. There's a twist. The Bills Balls games. As Owls will be taking it over so Bill can get a round of the family feud in.
Woo! Let's go. Steve Harvey, you jealous?
Who's going first?
Bill can.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm just worried that some of these Bill has seen.
I just have the late edition.
He's a feud guy.
I have the naughty edition.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 answers. Name a place you stop going to when you are broke.
Strip club.
Okay, I'll take it as a bar or nightclub. It's the third answer. Dean?
I'm gonna go with the bank.
The bank. That is an answer, but that is the sixth. Bill,
Yeah.
you pass or play?
I'm gonna play.
He wants to play.
He's fucking playing. He's fucking playing.
Okay, there was a total again of 8 answers. Bar/nightclub is gone, and the bank is gone. Name a place you stop going to when you are broke.
Grocery store.
That's the number 2 answer. The store.
Let's see.
Show me potato salad.
The number 1 answer. What's that?
Sporting events.
Sporting events. That's the number 7 answer.
Let's go.
Ball game.
Ball game. Yep.
Name a place you stop going to when you are broke.
Restaurant.
Restaurants. Number 1 answer.
How many I got left?
There are 3 answers left. Name a place you stop going to when you are broke. He's looking it up on his computer right now.
I'm looking right at you. Let's see. Let's go with. Oh man, I'm running out of answers. Furniture store.
Furniture store.
Oh, that's 1 strike.
Strike 1, baby.
Let's go with. The laundromat.
The laundromat.
That's where you would go.
Strike 2. Name a place you stop going to when you are broke.
Well, Ed, I think we're going to go with hospital.
Hospital. Show me hospital. That's the 3rd strike. Dean, a chance to steal.
Good luck, loser.
I'm going to go with vacation destinations.
Vacation destinations.
No.
Let's go.
That is wrong. So 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 70 points. Name a place you stop going to when you're broke. The number 1 answer was restaurants at 32. Store mall, number 2 answer for 16. Tied for the second highest answer was bar nightclub. The 4th answer, casino, 15 points. 5th answer, the movies at 8 points. The bank was the next one. Racetrack was the 7th answer, and the last answer was ball game. So Bill, 70 points.
Being broke has never stopped me from going to the casino.
To me, when I read the question, the movies was the first thing that came to my mind for whatever reason. And so I guess I thought you guys would say that. I thought Dean was ready to go.
I should have thought about that.
Well, it is what it is, man. You suck. So, all right, number 2. Dean, you get to go first.
I don't want to.
There are 5 answers. Name something that a doctor might pull out of a person.
Is this from personal experience or?
This is surveyed.
Show me potato salad. I pulled out of a person.
Name something that a doctor might pull out of a person.
Hot Wheel.
Blood.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, really? Back to Dean.
Oh, cucumber.
Name something.
This isn't late night.
That a doctor might pull out of a person.
Man, this is It's all different when you're on the other side.
I
Let's go with a toy.
mean, I said Hot Wheel. Pull out of a person.
Yep.
An organ? Like a
I'll take
kidney?
it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
You had 5 wrong
I'll take it. I'll replace. It says a tumor is one, so I'll go with an organ. Close enough, right?
Close enough.
All right, Dean, you passing or playing?
I'm gonna play it.
He's gonna play it for double points. All right.
That's gonna be the answer I have.
There are 4 answers left. Name something that a doctor might pull out of a person. We have an organ / tumor off the board.
A bone. Bone.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give that a strike.
It's close. I mean, if blood wasn't an answer, I don't even know what you could pull out of a person.
That a doctor might pull out of a person.
Fat.
Strike 2.
I'm just
name something that a doctor might pull out of a person.
Might pull out of a person. I already said race car. Went food. Feces.
That is 3rd strike.
I
Bill, you got a chance to take the points.
I'm gonna. What's that? Okay, we're gonna go with kidney, Ed.
You did answer organ earlier.
Oh, do I not get another chance on that, or
it's up to Dean?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hold on. All right, we have decided
That does not do it, Dean. You get 30 points.
I don't know what else you could pull out of somebody.
Okay.
Teeth?
Name something that a doctor might pull out of a person. The number 1 answer was gerbil at 32 points. Number 2 answer,
Really?
a baby. 3, a tumor. / I went with organ. Those we never would have gotten anywhere.
Would have never gotten to this point.
Number 4, a tooth.
Yeah.
Number 5, a bullet. So a tumor / organ got you 15 points times 2. That is 30. Bill is up 70 to 30 going into the last question. Bill gets to go first.
All right.
Name something men probably lie about most.
Penis size.
I feel like, did I not get this off of Family Feud? Because that is not on here. This isn't After Dark, Bill.
Yes, you got the clean Family Feud.
This isn't late night.
Have you not watched Family Feud?
I have.
Someone was like Steve.
That's almost
I'm
certainly
say,
the first
sit on
answer.
my face.
I'm going to tell you,
Family Feud.
That's not an answer I have here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with, I don't know, like the number of people slept with.
Yes. Success with women.
Success with women.
All right, Dean, are you keeping? Are you playing?
I'm going to play it, yeah.
You're going to have to. You're gonna have to.
I pretty much have, because I'm not going to get a one answer at the end.
So there are 5 more answers.
Okay.
Name something men probably lie about most.
How many beers they've had? Alcohol.
Strike 1.
Really? We got He already said PP size. Weight.
Wait, that is the number 6 answer out of 6.
Okay. Let me go with height as well. And take all the obvious ones off the board because
That is not on here. I think this. I don't think this is an online dating profile. I just think something men probably lie about most.
I mean,
Is that 2 strikes, Steve?
Yeah.
That's 2 strikes. That's 2 strikes.
What their job is, form of work.
Yes, job title is the 5th answer out of 6.
Okay. Could you repeat what I have?
Name something men probably lie about most. You have success with women, job title, and weight, which are the bottom 3 answers. Top 3 answers still available.
How many? Damn it! How many? Where they live?
That is strike 3.
Well, I don't know. No, we're gonna go with that answer. Okay.
You've lost
Steve.
regardless. Yes.
We're gonna go with money. How much money they've made?
That's a good
They
one.
make.
That was the number 3 answer, was income. Name something men probably lie about most. The number 1 answer was age. The number 2 answer was being single.
Being single.
So Bill won. Who is going first in the speed round? It is up to Bill.
No reaction. Light work. Let's go with Dean. Dean can go first.
It's ballsy.
Pop them.
Is it possible to get to 200 points? That's all I'm going to ask.
I don't even really know. I didn't add these up.
Well,
I'm going to add them up at the end, and I guess we'll see.
if the top 2 answers from each question can most likely at least get you.
Oh, sure.
Because, I mean, if you get 4 on one of them, it doesn't.
Right. That's not going to do much.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Hey, let's get that new car.
You guys going to split a Kia Spectra?
Fingers crossed.
Wow. Even pulled the cord.
They're actually.
That means he can hear it through his computer.
I was going to say, he just has the speakers out.
Yeah. He had the perfect
it's like, I
plan.
can't hear.
I'll do this, and then I can hear everything you say more clear.
Makes it easier.
No. Dean, Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yeah. Mind freak me.
I don't have a timer, so I'm just going to ask you the questions, and you give me an answer.
Okay. I'll try to answer them fast.
Yeah. Answer them fast. I'm going to put Bill real under the pressure like he's close each time.
Like, tick, 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 tick.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. Timer will start.
After people were surveyed. How can you tell immediately that an email is spam?
Pass.
Name something humans wear, but cats look silly in.
Socks.
Name something you might climb a tree to get.
An apple.
Name a crime that most cops have probably committed themselves.
Speeding.
Name something that people try to squeeze themselves into.
Clothing, shirt, pants.
And how can you immediately tell that an email is spam?
It's in your spam folder. I mean,
Okay.
what do you want-
So
from
let's
me?
see. Let me add these up real quick.
Usually, when I get spam mail, it's from the sites I've been subscribing to. Some would call it a hub. Some
Yeah.
would call it a tube.
Nice work. 148
Really?
points.
Really?
Yeah. How can you tell immediately that an email is spam? You went with goes to junk, like goes to junk mail. That's
Yeah.
the third answer.
Okay.
Name something humans wear, but cats look silly in. You said socks. That was not on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Name something. Well, I guess it could have been. Name something you might climb a tree to get. You said something, but I marked it as fruit, which was the number 2 answer. Name a crime that most cops have probably committed themselves. You said speeding. Bill's listening. I can see it. That which was the number 1 answer. Name something that people try to squeeze themselves into. You said pants. Jeans was the number 1 answer. I feel like a lot of these questions actually equal more than 100 points,
Mm-hmm.
at least for what I have here.
I was
So
like, man, I got a 0 and I got 140.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, because this one, 6, 9, well, 58 plus 30 is 88 plus 4. Oh no, that's 100.
We're like,
All right.
you guys got 340 points.
He heard the whole thing.
Acting
heard
like he didn't hear anything.
Yeah. All right, Bill.
All right.
Dean got 48 points. So you got a lot of ground to make up.
48?
48. And according to Family Feud rules, you have 15 seconds to answer these questions.
Okay.
Wait, I only got 48?
148. You got 148.
Oh,
I was like, oh, I misheard him
dude.
when he told me. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I did well.
I was like, holy crap, dude. That's the lowest you've gotten.
148. I think, I mean, this is very doable.
Okay.
52 points. And I feel like there's some big money answers left.
Nice. Good job, dude.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Got it.
How can you tell immediately that an email is spam?
The email address is wrong.
Just wrong. Okay. Name something humans wear but cats look silly in.
Robe.
Name something you might climb a tree to get.
Kite.
Name a crime that most cops have probably committed themselves.
Robbery.
Name something that people try to squeeze themselves into.
Jeans. Shirt.
Yeah, take it. Okay, let me see here. What'd you get?
4 questions?
Those 5.
4? Oh, jeez.
The email one threw me off. I just passed it and then went back to it. It threw me off.
I don't remember what you said for some of these.
Oh, that's not good.
No, I know what you answered. I just can't remember the specific thing you said. Okay. How can you tell immediately that an email is spam? You said wrong email.
Yeah. Wrong email address. Yeah.
Wrong email address. That was not an answer. Number one answer was unknown sender.
Well,
Name something humans wear but cats look silly, and you said
a robe.
a robe. Number one answer was hats. Number two answer was shoes. Number three answer was glasses. Number four was sweater. Next question. That was so you got 0 on that one also. Name something you might climb a tree to get. You said kite.
Mm-hmm.
That was the number 4 answer for 11 points. Name something that people try to squeeze themselves into. You said
shirt.
I accepted it as a dress.
Okay.
Which was 21 points.
Oh.
Last one. Name a crime that most cops have probably committed themselves. You said
robbery.
Robbery was not an answer.
What?
Well, stealing was, which was worth 34 points.
Let's go.
You guys won. You're welcome. I gifted you that.
I was gonna say fraud for that one. I'm glad I went with speeding.
Fraud. Well, I think I would have counted that as stealing.
What was the number one?
Speeding, which was Dean's answer, worth 58 points.
That's a good one.
Dean said jeans and squeeze themselves into, which was the number one answer. That was 48 points.
It was a big chunk of my.
It was a big chunk. Those were yes.
I mean, wrong email address is kind of what I meant by like unknown sender.
Yeah, well, it didn't make sense to me. So you got 214 points regardless. Big winners. You win a Kia Optima that you boys can split. It's a used,
nice.
But you'll enjoy it nonetheless.
We'll flip flop weekends.
Yeah. Nice work, fellas. Hell of an episode. Make sure all of you be beautiful people out there, like, comment, and subscribe. That'll do it for this week's episode of Wake Up with the Sleeper Boys podcast. Take care, everyone.
Watch that video.
Watch it. Here we go.